Hey everyone, it is Kazo, and we are back with more highlights from my Endwalker playthrough. Last time we blasted off and arrived at Ultima Thule, but can't find Thancred, so that's where we're going to start off today, is trying to find him. And I will see you at the end of the video. This is a crazy zone to send us to, though. And I wonder what their Aetherites are going to look like. They have dragons, though. What if this is the Dragon Star? Like, that would be insane. Look here, this part is relatively intact. The intricate design on the top suggests it is man-made, though its builders were surely not men as we conceive them. Having said that, I swear I've seen this pattern before. This is the Dragon Star. That's insane. What is that up there? That's like Thavnarian. Castle, a word before we join the others. You know it too. You see them too, don't you? The dragons. As I thought, their presence is tenuous at best. There's no mistaking it. No doubt your bond with Midgard-Summer and mine with Nidhogg is what allows us to perceive them. These apparitions be related to the dragons that now live in Aetherius. Better to leave such conjecture to the others. In any case, we must be careful. We may soon find dragons that can see as well. Death and anguish. What happened to them, I wonder?
Dragons? Here?
What you see is a memory of a world that once was. A world suffering a slow death, whose denizens cried out for the release of oblivion.
What? Their world is dead?
It is. Not a single life remains upon that husk floating in the vast emptiness. These creatures are shadow and shade, perpetuated only to suffuse dynamis with their unending lamentations.
Our friend Thancred. Where is he?
A strange question. He is at your side, is he not? Oh yes. He is here and there, and everywhere within this space. He would tell you himself if he had form to form words. In like manner to the oblivion I send, I tried to drown out your ether with dynamis. Beginning with this Thancred, who came at me despite being unable to breathe. Such a simple thing, unmaking men. In the blinking of an eye, he was gone. Didn't even have the chance to be transformed. Yet somehow, he managed to leave a slither of himself behind. What you call the heart? Or perhaps the soul. In his final moment, he cried out from it. A single word. Survive. That wish proved stronger than the despair that ruled here. It overpowered it. causing this space to be remade into a place you can perceive and where life can endure. That you draw breath is proof that his soul lives on. For how long, however, remains to be seen.
Well then, we should hurry and tend to business.
It's futile. You will never reach the true me. I told you, emotions dictate reality in this space. Such changes as you might work will not alter in its nature. You may see, but you cannot touch. Walk, but not advance.
Still amazed that they gave us the Dragon Star. You see, they wish to escape what they perceive to be a cycle of conflict. What Median told us before, that emotions dictate reality here, might be the key. But I'm not entirely sure what emotion might manifest a bridge to lead us to safety. At present, if it is indeed emotion that governs this island, perhaps it is not Medians, but the dragons that hold us here. They tire of conflict and have chosen a path of oblivion to escape it. Or rather, they've chosen no path at all, meaning there is no way for the dragons or anyone here on the island to advance. Median meant to unmake us then and there on the Ragnarok. She would have succeeded if not for Thancred's determination. She conceded it was strong enough to overpower the despair that otherwise rules Ultima Thule, and reshape it to a degree. Perhaps it can be done again in a like manner, by overpowering the prevailing emotions. It was Ultima Thule's architect, Medion herself, against whom Thancred did pit herself in a clash of wills. Though I marked no leader among them, as such, I did chance to encounter a dragon, possessed of despair far more potent than most. Potent enough, mayhap, to dictate the course for the others, and thus their domain to follow. He spoke few words, carefully chosen, their tone and timbre alone threatening to rend my heart in twain. Challenging a desire to remain may allow us to alter the island upon which we stand.
He remaineth as he was when I first approached, entombed in melancholy.
I see. Perhaps I could...
I'll handle this.
So, waiting to die like all the others, are you?
Our pride is crushed, our souls corrupted. The winds are stilled, and the heavens offer no comfort. There's nothing left for our kind. Our lives live a curse, as we await the end. Still as stone we shall become.
So you say. Yet your kind has found a new beginning on our star. One of you braved the expanse, bearing with him a clutch of eggs. They and their children now rule our skies, their song heard by all.
Our kin on another star. And yet upon thee do I smell the blood of my brethren. Were they drawn into discord and war on their new home?
They were.
suffered much, and repaid their suffering in kind.
Mattereth not whither we fly. Ever will a sanguine ocean await us. Ever will retribution's wheel turn. And so, on the last of my pride as a dragon, I break free of this wheel. I renounce conflict, exile myself from the other, never again to be touched by the flames of hatred.
Had your brethren made the selfsame choice, my family might still be alive. Yet lasting peace does not come to those who simply retreat from conflict. No, you must be willing to confront it, to stare into the face of your foe, and see yourself in him. Only then can you break the cycle of torment and tragedy. This lesson, a dear friend taught me at the risk of his life. There is no nobility in your penance. You wallow in self-pity. And after everything we've endured, we will not let you stop us.
Estinian!
Stay back!
We tire of war. We tire of turmoil. Dignity tarnished, crimson stained. Our misery, our shame, too much to bear. Release us from war, from life.
I see. Theirs is the emotion that bars our way. The rest is up to you.
We better get them back.
No! Not Estinian too!
There's a wind. He's opened the way for us. Sacrificed himself to remake this place, like Thancred did.
Did it. He found a way to forward for us. Dragons remain trapped within a prison of their own making, lamenting the horrors of war. Yet Estinian knew them better than most. He was a man of honor and a dear friend, willing to fight for the very end for what he believed was right. What are these? This one feels like entirely alien. And their heads come off? Jesus. When the vibration of vocal folds was still required to convey our thoughts, our intention, I believe, was the enunciation used when referring to our people. It was not entirely applicable, given our present state. You are welcome to use the appellation. Gather your response to my presence is positive, then. That is well, for there is something I wish to ask of you. Like yourselves, we Ea are aether-based life forms. Therefore, it may be surmised that your bodies are of comparable biological composition to those we once possessed. I have a number of queries regarding your subjective perception of the five senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. Total, I've prepared 100. Okay, that's a lot. It's a rather lot, isn't it? Oh, my apologies. I've omitted a great many of details necessary to understand the nature of my request. Though we dispensed with our corporeal vessels long ago, we have rediscovered a need for flesh. We have endeavored to recreate our erstwhile forms. However, all pertinent records have been lost due to the passage of time. Take, for example, the nervous system. It is well within our power to recreate, but we have no frame of reference for sensations once experienced by our people, which may compromise our ability to interact with our physical environment. And the reason you need to regain corporeal forms? Why, to bring an end to our existence, of course. Though need is perhaps too strong a word, it would be a similar matter to unmake ourselves through the use of etheric exsanguinators. Such a death seems inadequate. Traditionalists among us believe proper death requires an inescapable sense of impertinence in one's final moments, an experience found only with bodies of flesh. I should very much like to hear more of your plans. In exchange, we will answer any questions you have to the best of our ability. Such an exchange of information would indeed prove useful. Very well, to ensure efficacious exchange, I hereby invite you to our home. Yes, the abode of the Awa, where we traditionalists prepare for our demise. Presume your consent to answer questions is indicative of tacit approval of our plans, in which case your cooperation is greatly appreciated. I must caution you, however, to be mindful of the Awa wandering the desert. The desire for bodies of flesh could be described as overzealous. Now, if you'd follow me. This is going rather smoothly, not that I'm complaining mind. And so, we mustn't forget their aim is oblivion, much like the dragons. I fail to see why a civilization so seemingly advanced would choose to unmake all they have created. At any rate, we will find no answers dallying here. Let's be on our way. This facility is where we replenish our ether. There's no particular name for it, but we traditionalists sometimes use the word restaurant. Now then, if you would take your place with your comrades, space will soon be awash with purest ether. Please absorb as much as you like. It might actually be a good weapon against Medion. Wait, it's the elemental wheel. As we have established, here in Ultima Thule, those denizens of ruined stars are recreated in their twilight days. Yet one question doth arise in my mind. So faithfully formed are the simulacra. They believe themselves yet amongst the living. How dost thou suppose this is possible? Medion made contact with them while they still lived. Of course, she must have visited the stars of the dragons in the air before their race perished in their entirety. Thus could she make their emotions her own, with them create more faithful simulacra than had she relied on any historical account. So too did I theorize, and upon that assumption, consider how those two races may have met their demise. According to thine own tale, Midian perceiveth the emotions of those nearby as her own. A heightened sense of empathy intrinsic to her nature as an intellecti. The course of her star-faring journey, if she encountered beings who strongly desired a cessation of their existence, she would be powerless before that desire. Even as she possesseth the power to grant it, power of Dynamis. It is my supposition that, overwhelmed by their longing for death, Midian did unleash Dynamis and ushered the dragons and Ea onto their doom.
Please continue. Tell us about this truth you discovered.
Very well. Bear in mind, however, that the purpose of this conversation is not to impart scholarly knowledge, for such requires that you comprehend the subject matter, which you will not. We will forego the intricacies of our scientific methodology and deal only with the conclusion, the end of our society and our world. We acknowledge, with regret, that your star is in the midst of the same panic-induced cataclysm that befell Deneb III. As such, in order to avoid causing undue distress, we will refrain from explicitly stating how much time you have remaining.
You are entirely too kind. I pray you recount your tale as you see fit.
In the beginning, the universe was but a tiny particle. Then suddenly, this particle began to expand. Having remained entirely in the bounds of your star, the phenomenon may be difficult for your kind to grasp. But this expansion has since continued unabated. Speculating that the universe could not grow indefinitely, we sought to learn what might occur, and made a worrying discovery. The stars will continue to spread apart, as will their finite thermal energies. Eventually, all heavenly bodies will grow cold and freeze. No new stars will be born, and the universe will enter into an eternal ice age. In hopes of proving that this determination was erroneous, we scrutinized our research from all angles, even as we sought to avert the everlasting winter. The endeavor proved fruitless. So infamously so, in fact, that it became synonymous with vain effort. The universe as we know it would end, and there is no way to prevent it. Beneath the weight of this knowledge, our society stagnated. Though we had time still, it was a cold comfort. Why strive for anything when desolation is assured? When our wealth of wisdom, accumulated since the dawning of our kind, would be forever lost. No civilization would rise from our ashes. No scholar recover our knowledge. In silence unbroken, naught would stir. Intellect was once our pride. Overnight, it became our shame. Our works, monuments to futility. Immortality, our greatest invention, became a source of suffering, rather than suffer on. Many chose to unmake themselves by means of etheric exsanguinators. Etched upon these stones are the testaments of such souls, though many left no words at all, thinking it a pointless gesture. Once we have obtained vessels of flesh, we likewise intend to vanish. If you understand this, understand aught of our tale, you will abandon your quest for knowledge. Ignorance truly is bliss. If you would cling to your illusory happiness, remain primitive and pure. It is the only way.
So that's your story. While I appreciate your advice, I will not heed it. Convinced though you may be of this truth, it is yours and not mine. Indeed, truth, I have ever believed, is in the eye of the beholder.
Are you suggesting that we have reached a faulty conclusion? That our science failed us?
Hardly. As you yourself said, the subject matter is beyond my comprehension. And that, I accept, is true. I do not possess the knowledge to prove or disprove your conclusion. In my mortal years, I doubt I could even approach the wisdom of the Air. But of one thing am I absolutely certain. I would not be happier in ignorance.
Y'shtola, no! You mustn't!
The most important lesson I've learned is that learning isn't simply passing one's eyes over words. Nay, 'tis when understood for oneself that knowledge attains its true value. This is what has sustained me, driven me onward in joy and wonder, in anger and sorrow. The universe may end, and all may be for naught, but I will live as I always have. I will always seek out new knowledge, and no conclusion of yours, no matter how grim, can dampen my desire.
I suppose it is only to be expected. Their feeble minds cannot fathom the terrifying gravity of it all. But worry not. We consider it our duty to enlighten you, and we will not stop until you grasp the full extent of our despair.
Keep calm and listen well. Though my body will soon dissipate, there may be a way to restore it. Azim's magic. So long as our souls remain, you can use it to summon us back. But you mustn't, for it would mean losing our way forward. This I only reveal so that you can promise not to invoke the magic. We came here knowing what victory may cost, so press on. Press on, and do not look back.
I shall join thee. as subterfuge is not required, thou shalt not suffer for mine absence.
Riange.
My resolve hath never been as strong as thine. Full oft have I wavered in my decisions, and afterwards been stricken with regret. In spite of this, I may still stand with my comrades, supporting them as they attempt the greatest of feats. This truth I have learned in the course of our journey. And many though my shortcomings may be, I may also claim to excel in prophecies. My studies, into which have granted me the flexibility of mind needed to bend this malleable reality. Thus shall I hope that thou mayest have the strength to resist, and our comrades the strength to continue.
With you to urge us on, how could we possibly fail?
What's this? An extinguished civilization. Rekindled.
That's right. Our quest doesn't end here. We'll press on, and we will find you.
There. That's where you'll find me.
Is that another star?
Of the stars we visited, most were already devoid of life. And where there was life still, the inhabitants wished for death. But even death, we learned, isn't truly the end. It is but a part of the cycle of rebirth. Souls return to the star, or in its absence, a larger flow. And eventually they are reborn. Alive again, to know suffering anew. True salvation lies not in dying. It lies in not being born. This is the gift I would give to you. To all life on beautiful Aetheris. To that end, we created an egg wherein life cannot quicken. That dead sun.
It's full of souls.
Attain it if you can. Before your friends' emotions fade away. Along with their protection.
Still, star full of souls. Makes me wonder if we defeat her, all those souls will be released back into the universe, possibly to be reborn. Means a whole bunch of worlds restarting. This is Omega's world. That's really cool. That is super cool. I didn't even think about seeing Omega's world. Like, the Dragon Star should have tipped me off, but still. Are they really striking dummies? If so, I want that striking dummy for our house.
As am I. Operating such consoles is trying enough. But if we can't even activate it...
Perhaps there is a way. First, consider the world that has been recreated here. Its inhabitants were machines who gathered combat data to enhance themselves. And among the many wars they waged, the most notable was that against the dragons. As you've doubtless surmised, I believe this was the homeworld of Omega. Sid built a jamming device to defeat it, a device which generated massive bursts of lightning, its sole weakness.
That's all well and good, but what does that... Wait. You're not thinking to strike the console with lightning, are you?
As a matter of fact, I am. Ask yourselves this. Why would an entity as puissant as Omega not be designed to suppress the effects of lightning?
Because it relies upon it, or something akin to it, as a source of energy.
My thoughts exactly. And there is a good chance the same is true of the Omicrons and their devices. So, shall I cast caution to the wind and try something reckless and dramatic?
It worked!
Opening connection to communications module 1. Connection established. Transmission. Strategic Matrix Signal 1 now online. As a primary strategic matrix, you may address me as Sir. Checking for new communications. None found. All units, please maintain current state. End transmission. Closing connection.
Wait! We have questions for you! Of late, no mission orders have been issued. Why not? Has there been some manner of trouble?
Reply. The Extended Operations Unit is yet to determine guidelines for future assignments. All strategies are calculated, devised, and actioned in accordance with said guidelines. In the interim, all citizens are directed to maintain a state of combat readiness. End reply. Awaiting query.
Can you tell us why the Extended Operations Unit hasn't yet determined the guidelines?
Unable to comply. Information unavailable or access restricted.
In that case, is it possible for us to communicate directly with the unit?
Access denied. Unable to establish connection.
Is there anything you can tell us? Have there been any abnormalities, like a threat to the star or widespread unrest?
Reply. Negative. All citizens continue to operate at maximum efficiency. If your operations are suboptimal, please proceed to a maintenance facility for evaluation. Otherwise, stand by at your designated post. End reply. End transmission. Closing connection.
I could activate it again, but I doubt it would be productive. What do you think?
If all the Omicrons really were running as efficiently as it claimed, then I doubt they were hoping for life here to end. As this Sir told us, there just haven't been any new instructions, and everyone is standing by.
Should be standing by at any rate. If there are those that are neglecting their duties, perhaps we can glean a clue from them. I propose we take another look around, and also try to find the operations unit.
I am looking at the tree. What an unusual specimen. Where's the device attached to it? The tree is a sample collected from another star, as it cannot survive in our environment, however, it requires life support. That is the function of the device. To go to such lengths to sustain it. Is there something special about this tree? Being foreign matter, protocol requires that we study it. As this task has been completed, the specimen may be discarded. However, when I behold the tree, I am made to feel as though there is a problem. In order to become strong, we have continued to enhance ourselves, like we did countless others. We conquered the star whence this tree came. It is the last remnant of a dead world, and there is nothing towards which it may aspire. Yet it grows, extends its branches, sprouts leaves, produces seeds. Why does it seek to continue? Why was it made to behave in such a way? And to what end? I do not understand. Endeavor to live, even if we must depend on forces beyond our control. Tell me, Caslow, one day, when this adventure becomes part of your epic, do you think I will be mentioned in it? You're not here so you can be in a story. Of course, why wouldn't you be? I truly think so. It would be a... Nay, I shouldn't say such things, until the moment comes to pass. Never mind the embarrassment. Well, we'd best get on with our task. Tracking down Sir and understanding the nature of the emotion which bars our way. I still don't know why Hythodius was talking to us before we left for this trip, though.
As you have surmised, I am part of the shared intelligence of Stigma One. It was my charge to determine the optimal path to achieving our prime function. His body had been abandoned by its former owner and lay unused. I took it and abandoned my own, and with it, my duty.
May we ask why you did this? From what we gather, it seems to be a personal matter.
Our kind did not always work as we do now. Long ago, we possessed frail and feeble bodies. Beleaguered by stronger races, our ancestors took to augmenting their flesh in order to defend themselves. What began with limited parts eventually spread to the whole body, and at last, a means was discovered to convert the mind into data, rendering even the brain obsolete. Such complete mechanical beings were called the Omicrons, and by their might, we came to reign supreme over the star. But even then, we did not feel secure. For we knew that the universe was home to civilizations aside from our own. Civilizations that may be stronger still than us. Rather than risk becoming subjugated, We chose to become the Subjugator. We began our conquest of the stars, that we might acquire the resources and knowledge we needed to reign supreme. We were successful in that endeavor. So powerful did we become, we could lay low even the mighty dragons. But then something unexpected happened. I began experiencing an error. I could no longer determine an optimal path.
You were malfunctioning.
I performed numerous full system scans, each time finding no issues. Yet the error persisted. It was then that I speculated. What could happen if we grew so powerful as to have no equal? To become stronger was essential to our existence. Our every action has been in service to this objective. But if nothing lies beyond this, can it be truly said that it was essential? Have we been engaging only in wanton destruction?
You could find no threat to justify your purpose.
The Omicrons will never leave this star. They will stand by until their reserves of energy is spent. For I have no path to offer them. None.
It is not our place to pass judgment on the deeds of the Omicrons. But surely, this does not have to spell the end of your people. With your power and knowledge, the possibilities are endless. Why not seek out a new purpose?
That is impossible. In the beginning, we had a higher purpose than our pursuit of power. But we lost sight of it when we so irrevocably altered our fundamental forms. When we cast aside our flesh, so too did we cast aside all that defined us. Nothing remains of who we once were. I have no aspirations. No longer can I dream. The vital spark is lost. Lost amidst circuitry and code and commands.
I believe I know how to overcome this despair. The words are ready in my mind, but ere I speak them, I want you to make me a promise. Be it across time or space, our promises have always connected us. And so I ask that you indulge me once more, that this won't be the end.
You say it, I'll do it.
Is that so? In that case, I won't hold back. First, I want to visit Ishgard with you. Properly. We scarcely had time to look around last time. I should like it very much if you could show me the sights. Next, You must regale me with your greatest adventures, in the places where you lived them, if possible. I may have read about all your deeds, but there is no substitute for a first-hand account. And last but not least, a new adventure together, unlike any we've experienced before. We'll travel the lands, cross the seas, and take to the skies upon the eternal wind, and it will be marvelous. It will.
Said the word. He's the best Scion.
If you would humor me a moment. When we awaken each morning, how can we prove that we're the same individual who retired the night before? Through the remembrance of past events, we might say. We have our memories, yet there are times when we forget or recall incorrectly. What of our bodies, then? It is the same one, we might say, yet technically speaking, as living beings, our bodies are constantly changing. It will never be as it was at an earlier point in time. Our souls are no more immutable. On our star, people are known to inherit the souls of others, yet they are decidedly different beings. For my part, I've subjected my totality to much and more. I've made my body into an extension of a tower, blended my soul and memories with those of another self. And each time I would ask myself, what is it that makes me, me?
Were you able to determine an answer?
No. But that doesn't mean I'm confused. It simply means I'm the same as everyone else. So I posit this. Who we were need not prescribe what we now hold in our hearts. Whatever came before, what matters most is the present. For me, that is being here with my friends, full proud of how much we've grown together. So I urge you to not give up. Heed your heart's desire and hope that the future you long for shall be realized.
I cannot. We cannot. We cannot understand desire, nor comprehend hope. We do not know how to create such things.
We are not unalike, you and I. I too have struggled to find the courage to express and embrace my wants. If you like, I will tell you a tale. A tale of a world on the brink. Of a people who never gave up on the future. Of a man who realized his grandest dreams and then awakened to a grander reality.
I forgot I muted from the dogs.
You idiot! Just once, stay with us to the end.
Also, of course, this ends with the twins as it began. Well, there you have it. We have lost everybody but the twins. We will pick up there next time, and if you want to see that video as soon as it comes out, be sure to click that subscribe button so it'll show up in your feed immediately. Otherwise, I have links in the description below to my Twitch channel, where you give me a follow and know anytime I go live over there, as well as links to my social media and a link to my Discord channel if you want to be part of the daily community. With that said, I will see everyone next time. Take care.